said to, quote, never find me again.
Let's say I don't think a Gar would say anything.
Yeah.
Gar would just stop showing up.
Mm-hmm.
He dips. He's out. He's gone. He's never coming back.
Oh, he's probably still around. He just probably doesn't talk to you anymore. He probably just doesn't show up for adventures.
Yeah.
You talk to him, he doesn't talk to you back. It's Gar is still Gar. Gar is still
Why
around.
has Gar left me on read? Why has he done this? I thought we loved each other.
He's in the tavern, but he just ignores me every time.
He's just still
He
drinking
doesn't
water
even
to
look
this
at me
day.
anymore.
You talk to Gar, Gar retracts his head back into shell.
That's amazing. Once we get we get to town, because I do have a giant spider with me.
Yeah, the guards basically tell you that there's no way in heck. They might allow you with some reservations, clearly, because they're not as comfortable with kobolds as the dwarves seem to be. Even if the mistress Firebeard actually vouches for you, but the giant spider, no, they're not.
Put a giant fake horse head on the head of the spider.
Instead of actually going into town, I'm like, I'm gonna chill out here. I'm gonna talk to somebody. I'll meet you. I'll meet you. I'll meet you tomorrow. Spread the word of Hugh. I'm going to become the greatest rebellion leader ever.
Wait, what?
That's a big word. And then I just go off on my spider.
Oh, and he's gone.
I guess he just sleeps outside. He's a forest critter. He can do fine.
What does that mean? I don't know what this is.
Actually,
I don't know either. Well, he's gone.
I haven't had the chance to ask any of you, but have any of you heard of a man named Ikram Amal? He's 5'7" ish, tannish skin, brown hair.
I hate to be that guy, but what race?
Human.
Oh, we just assumed human? Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah, he's a human.
What would be the check to see if I recall that name, if at all? Like, would that be like intelligence?
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Like history or something.
Yeah, if you want a history, if you don't want history, subtract 2, so 17 or 19.
I'm pretty sure I've heard of that guy.
Oh,
Jesus!
Yeah.
Zigzag wrote a book about that guy.
Yeah.
This guy once stole my lunch. Let me tell you all about him.
He knows exactly who he is.
Well, so what would somebody with 27 history would know about this individual?
Yeah. So you know him. He's a moderately famous musician, human.
From where?
He comes from the West. That is accurate, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So he comes from the West. He's a traveler. He goes around. He doesn't really stick in one place. He's actually had a fair few songs that he wrote that were of his own battles that he fought with some other people. And he's not here right now.
Okay, so
and he's not out west.
So what's more likely to me, seeing as I'm from far up north, is that I probably don't know the guy, but people have come around. No, people have probably come around singing his songs, right?
I've definitely heard of him at least.
Yeah, and people come around.
Directly.
People have come around singing his songs, and that they're singing his songs, they're singing about him. So when you say the name, I was like, oh, you mean the guy from X song?
Yeah.
That guy's real?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is real.
Yeah, no. I know. I've heard the song of the Battle of Misty Marsh like 1,000 times.
Huh. Yeah, that is quite the popular one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking for him right now. I haven't found him yet, but do you know anything about where he might be?
Well, the thing is that he usually spreads information about him through song. So,
yeah,
the more bards that come around singing his songs, the more you know about where he's at, especially if they're new songs that you've never heard before. So it seems to me that the way to track him down would be to listen for new songs about him.
I guess that would be a good idea to.
Because when the songs end,
or songs that he wrote himself.
Yeah, because when the songs end, that probably means that he's not doing anything anymore, which either means he died or that he's stopped doing.
do you know of any? Have you heard any recent songs from him?
I think
Or
the
about
Battle
him?
of Misty March is the last one that I've heard because, again, I'm from the north, and most of his songs feature areas out west that I've never been to.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's a good idea. I'll keep it in mind.
And meanwhile, you see a new bard in the gateway going like, well, anyway, wonderful.
Yeah. Anyway, wonderful.
Oh yes, that classic. Wait till your brother hears this one.
Yeah.
He
So
swears he knows other songs.
he's essentially a bard himself that travels with people and does stuff.
Well, if he's if he's mostly in battle and singing songs about battle himself, isn't he a skald then?
Shrug.
You know about Skalds because to the north there's a lot of barbarian tribes. So yeah, that's a term for them.
Okay.
Braith, you don't think this person could have gotten recruited, do you?
I've never heard of them before. I couldn't say.
Fair enough.
To be fair, though, I also don't really listen to songs that often. Usually I was out in the field, so...
Well, the thing about music is it's a fine way to keep measure to, like, the march, or to the beat of a hammer, or the cut of a scythe. You know, anything that requires menial labor, so it's always better to do it with a song.
True. Never really did that, though. At least, and if they did those songs, I couldn't even tell you who was singing it.
No. The armies up north, when they would do their marches up and down the street, they would always sing a song to keep foot beat.
That was basic training. We used to do something like that, although the songs were usually just whatever the master at arms would shout at us.
I guess our musician here might be a little bit more experienced than the local drummer boy.
Yes, by quite a bit.
Teeny tiny bit.
I don't know. When the savior comes, you're always going to want the little drummer boy around. Rumpum-pum-pum-pum.
I was about to say that, too.
Okay. So, we got a couple things on the table here. And more specifically, all this star metal. What do we want to do with it?
My inclination is to donate it, but that's probably something you don't want.
I feel like given the amount of danger we keep on facing and that we're literally fighting entire squadrons all at once by ourselves, I think we might need the edge these days.
Yeah.
Look, I know you guys don't know me. I don't even know why I'm still hanging around to you people other than the fact that I seem to be drawn to you by some sort of mystical source.
I mean, I just kind of liked having you around, so...
Well,
I just let me finish my interjection before it sounds totally weird and out of place to have said in the first place.
Sure.
I am a crafter trying to prove myself a master of the art to the smiths back where I live, and it would serve me no amount of end to have crafted a masterful piece of armor out of this mysterious metal.
If you'd like to take up the task, I'd be grateful, of course.
I also would not mind the attempt, Journeyman Zag.
But I guess the question is, do we want to make a single piece of full plate that I think only I or Braith could benefit from? Or some other piece of armor and a shield or a weapon with it?
Well, if I was to try and prove that my prowess as an artisan, I feel like shooting for the best would be the only way to go.
That's fair.
So, for clarification, like it's with the weapon, like can it be any weapon or a specific type of weapon?
It has to be mostly metal weapon. So, for example, a staff or something like that won't work.
Robert wants to make a Tommy gun.
A bow won't work.
Any weapon.
So,
laser
mostly
rifle,
swords, axes, that sort of thing. A club wouldn't work.
Sorry,
right?
dog's barking. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The hand grenade of Antioch.
Yeah, that would be one. If you don't know how to count, you shouldn't try.
Yeah, laser guns in the book. We could just get a laser gun, right?
Well, also the grenade of Antioch Like, I'm pretty sure we need more than just that, because that's a pretty powerful thing.
You can only use it once, and you have to count up to 3, not more or less, so it takes some time.
But it is good at fighting rabbits, so...
Yeah.
Well, at least one anyway.
Yes, rabbit.
Will kill at least one rabbit, yes.
But I guess neither of you two can really use metal armor to the...
I mean...
as best as possible, right?
Yeah, the closest thing you're gonna get from me is studded leather.
Right, and you mostly, Barakal, you mostly shouted people and called them buffoons, if I remember.
I did some other things too, but yeah.
And
I'm
you,
not exactly
you
in the
mostly
front
actually
lines.
used your bow. So as much as I'm trying to think, like, how can we give you something out of this?
Or my spider.
I like to think we're having this conversation near the wall of town so that Hugh can be in it.
Yeah.
You can walk in and get a drink.
But no, because he went off to make camp apparently outside. Remember?
Yeah.
Well, but that'll be when we actually enter. Like, also when it comes to armor, for some reason heavy armor is marked down on my sheet, but I don't have that.
Yeah, that's weird. I was pretty sure Ranger was like up to medium or maybe
unless
only light.
Unless you're in like a subclass that gets it.
Yeah.
My subclass doesn't get it. Yeah, so like I can wear up to medium armor. Normally I don't normally it's just a recommended restriction of druids and metal armor, but I'm actually going to follow through with that.
Oh, you're actually a druid. I thought you were full ranger.
You're part druid.
All right, so you're not even allowed.
So 3 of us.
It's technically a recommendation. But I'm gonna follow through with the fact of it won't work.
Yeah. 3 of us can wear heavy armor, I think.
Yeah, don't worry about me when it comes to this for weapon.
Right. So as much as like I would want to like do what we said before, where it's like, hey, thanks for helping us. We'd like to reward you with some of this. You guys can't benefit at all. I'm so sorry.
Well,
no,
I'm to the point where I don't even have planned
but we
how
do
I'm
have
going
zigzag.
to level up moving forward.
Well, I want to point out that not
use it how you want.
Not only can I wear heavy armor, I can also imbue it with magical qualities. So I know that I've also put myself out there to make it, but if you put it on me, I can also make it a grander, more fabulous set of armor.
Yeah, and honestly, maybe that wouldn't be too bad of an idea too. If you do that, and Zigzag, if you're willing to assist us in clearing the area.
I also want to make a quick mechanical argument, maybe.
Yeah.
Quick mechanical argument that I'm a gnome, which means that I'm only like 3 or 4 feet tall. I mean, I have an actual sheet on my sheet, a size of my sheet, so I'm not going to say that maybe there would be some left over since I'm not making it for a full-size person to actually make something else for somebody else.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe a full plate armor for a gnome-sized person, and then maybe a weapon for somebody else to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could give either Braith a magical weapon or give me a magical shield.
Or, I'm just going to throw this out there, you did promise Hugh something. Oh wait, no metal. I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the thing. Hugh, I will make it up to you somehow.
I'm good. You use the metal.
Yeah.
I want to.
Kix will like take both his arms, put him on your shoulders, go. I will make it up. I will thank you.
You may have to bend over a little bit because I am 2'1".
Right, and Kix is like towering at 6 feet over you.
No, that's fine. We'll get you a stool.
So okay.
Yeah, picks you up, puts you on stool, then gives you the talk.
How tall?
My thing is I want to change. I'm going to change the world. I'm going to be incredible. But to do that, I need to get a name. So I'm going to start a rebellion and do that.
I mean, you need a name, or you're going to get a name of somebody?
I don't know. I didn't plan that far ahead.
I don't know what you're asking for here. You need what name do you need? Like a name for yourself?
Well,
I'm Hugh.
Yeah, so what name do you need? Like you need somebody else's name?
I don't know. I'm taking inspiration from adventurers who passed by us before.
You mean like you need a nickname?
I don't know.
Well, Hugh,
how do you?
Could
you're
I
the one who said
suggestion?
you needed something. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. If I could make a suggestion, so your people have already kind of done their rebellion. They escaped from slavery here, and come here to join us, and now they're a part of our community. Now seems like the perfect time to become the hero that represents them and the goodness that they have. If you come with us and assist us in helping protect Narwhal, then undoubtedly your name will get out there as part of our group, and you'll be a shining beacon of your own people.
So I can be the leader of this group instead of a rebellion. I'm in.
What are you rebelling against?
Leader is a strong word.
I'm rebelling against the man.
No, there's only one real answer to that lesson, and I'm waiting to hear it. What are you rebelling against, Hugh?
You're
not starting right.
Stuff that's bad against the forest.
See, the answer is what you got.
All right, Hugh.
The wild ones, man. It's the only answer you got.
Yeah, like I had a dream about a horse with a horn, and then I could do stuff. So now I'm gonna support the forest.
All right, Hugh. I'll recommend you to the Shire Reeve and let him know that you're with us.
AKA Hugh is a hot mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course I'll turn to Barakel and Zigzag and go, of course the same goes for the both of you. Zigzag, I know you already have your intent to prove your own work once you've completed with the Star Medal, so perfect opportunity, right?
I'm pretty sure we already have an accord.
Exactly. And that just leaves Barakel. I'm not sure if we can find your mentor. But you're welcome to come along with us and see if he turns up.
Well, at least it'll make a good song, eh?
That's true. Look, you already have Hugh, the newest and greatest rising hero.
Yep. So, well, I'll come along, but we'll see how it goes.
All right.
If we're able to get a lead, then I'll probably pursue that. I don't know if you'll follow me.
So, Zigzag. So, what would you want to make as the secondary thing out of the Star Medal, then? Maybe you could make the weapon for Braith.
Yeah, I mean, I can do that.
Okay. I think that'll be good.
Just gotta know what Braith would want.
So,
laser sword, was it?
Wait, no. No. I was hoping for a great axe. That would be nice.
The greatest axe ever seen.
Yes.
Yeah. Zigzag, make an intelligence check for me. It's gonna be difficult. Wait.
So difficult, in fact, I can't roll.
No.
Oh no.
You had a fleeting idea that Star Metal is very powerful, but you don't recall exactly the specifics of it. It's easier to enchant, that's for sure. Like I said before, but there may be more to it, but you might have to do research on it.
But the thing is that I don't enchant anything. I only imbue objects.
Yeah, you'll outsource it. We got local wizards.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm not at the level where I would imbue it with anything that I wouldn't be using, because unfortunately I can only imbue 2 things at a time. And I'm already at that level. Also, I can make a great axe in 1 week.
Yeah. Well, in order to make it magical, it would take a little more than that.
Well, yeah, but I can actually make the great axe in 1 week. Imbuing or enchanting it with something would be somebody else's job.
Yeah.
The fact that it's already Star Metal is what you were saying might make it magical. But yeah, no, I can make the great axe in 1 week, and then I would start on the plate mail, which would take me 15 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you do know a wizard.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the rest of the party knows a wizard.
Right, but I'm just, like I said, the shape of a great axe will be accomplished in a week.
Yes.
What you guys want to go and do after that, with wizards or not wizards, totally on you.
Yeah.
I can hand the object off to Braith at a week's time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
In which case, I guess I'll go and give my recommendations to the Reeve, and I think I need to go talk to Zadriana as well.
So let's go to the Reeve first. What
Yeah.
are you proposing to tell the Reeve? And so let me show the picture of the Reeve, as we almost always do every time.
Yeah. I'm probably going to go ahead and keep him up to date on what's happened, including like another attack recently. They're clearly becoming more bold, and they may actually be associated with the Stag Lord now, like in full. So I'm keeping him up to date, and I'll tell him, well, we also received some help from two people I hadn't met before, Hugh and Barakal. They seem to be new. Or, well, Hugh, I guess, lives with the kobolds, but Barakal, I suppose, is new to the area. Uh, Also a little gnome called Zigzag. They seem trustworthy enough, and in good spirits, too. Hugh's got a heroic shoulder to him, and Barakal seems to have nothing better to do.
Barakat, yes.
Oh, Barakat.
Well,
but yeah.
Well, I'd like to meet them. You think they would be good members to join the headhunters?
I think so. They've already proven themselves. I think without them, well, maybe I wouldn't be here.
No, I think that's tests well enough. I also heard about what happened to the ore shipments. We need that in mind. It certainly would help in our defense. What is it about this falling star? Reports about it.
Oh, that was a strange event indeed. Well, it came to life after we came to investigate it, but when we broke it apart, it was just simply its ore, the star metal that we found. Zigzag already has. He's excited for sure, and I don't blame him. It's rare.
Yeah. Interesting.
Got the Firebeard's forge, then I'm sure, at least with plenty of hands on board, I don't think there's any mistake you could possibly make.
Yeah. By the way, to clarify, if you make a weapon armor just a star metal mechanically, it will be a quality. So, essentially, it only weapons get a +1. Shields and armor just they're just better, more expensive, that sort of thing. So you really have to enchant it. You do know wizard, they would have to participate in the crafting of the weapon as it's being crafted in order to imbue it.
Okay.
So you already have a craftsman. I mean, you have two blacksmiths, and you have assistants. If you hire or convince a wizard to help you, then they could try to enchant it, and you discuss what the enchantment is and price and whatnot, what have you. If they're going to charge at all, or how much. And then they'll discuss the specific enchantments. Whether to put it blindly, you're not going to get anything more than a +1 weapon with something else, or just a +1 weapon. So, it's not like it's going to give you, but whatever that something else is could be interesting depending of what you decide, and what he's capable of doing. But it has to be done while a weapon is being crafted. Otherwise, you don't enchant it after the fact.
That's like
funny, because I can imbue it after the fact.
Yeah, well, that's your class, but
I just think
that's
I'm better than the crazy wizard that I didn't like as Gar. Oh, you look confused. You forgot Gar hated that guy?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, I thought the wizard was the daughter.
The
daughter is the alchemist, the father is the wizard.
No, the wizard is the guy who tried to build a arcane lock on a tower and got himself knocked out by the implements that came about because of his meddling, because he did it wrong.
Yeah.
That's why Gar didn't like him, because Gar thought he was an idiot, a crazy idiot.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the hermit in the middle of the woods.
See, the problem is that Gar didn't like anybody.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's kind of
kind of his thing.
Also, I don't think the old hermit in the woods was a wizard. I thought he was an apiarist.
Yeah, he's just an apiarist.
If anything, he's maybe an alchemist or an herbalist, but not a wizard.
I mean, all right.
Well, he didn't do anything magical.
Yeah. So Davin, I would give them all high marks, I think. And I
Very
think
well.
they're all hanging out in the inn right now too. If you want to send someone for them.
I'll talk to them in the morning. No need to rush it.
But I'm worried.
And how goes the investigation on the Stugwood if they're expanding? Do you have any more information on that?
We got a bit distracted with events ongoing, but I'll be trying to head out as soon as we can. Once you've talked to everyone, once everyone's done their work and rested, we'll head out again. I'm worried. There's just more of them all the time.
Yeah, we can't have that something that close.
All they need to do is flank us, or even just hunt us down in the night, or any sort of simple tactic, and they could probably take us down. We're not that many. We're not an army.
No, better to head that off before it's too late.
Right. Well, I'll be speaking to Zadriana. Hopefully she'll have something that can help us out with it and give us a little edge before this gets out of control.
Her name is, let me check. Sadrian is a family name.
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah, Lady Zadrian. She's Jana. Yeah. So go and talk to Jana.
No. Jana Sadrian. Yeah. There she is. Yeah. Yes. But he says, "Well, thank you for the information. On the next week, you're going to get all your pay. So I guess if they accept, they'll get their pay first reimbursement. I know it's not too much, but it is something. We can't afford to give. It is. I can at the moment. I cannot afford to give more. Although I have to admit that your service to Narwhal has been invaluable.
Right, and I understand your pockets aren't infinite here. We all live in the same town, after all.
Yes. So thank you for this information, and we'll see if we can send a missive north and see if, and yet again, try to get more forces to reinforce us. But
20th time's the charm.
Yes. So yeah, you leave and you go. And it's late afternoon, early evening. She is basically taking her nighttime tea before she heads off to sleep. It's like, oh, Kix, how can I help you?
Well, as ever, I'm in need of your services. There's a few potions that you've made before, and I'm wondering what you would need to make a large batch of them. Do you remember the potion of haste that you brewed?
No, his father was the one that gave you the potion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, your father brewed it, and I was wondering if you might be capable of it as well. You have his recipes, right?
Yes. Still have to cover for labor as well, but I suppose I could spare something. He basically gives you a list. Mm-hmm. You have to go into the forest, basically get them herbs and other things. No, I don't want to be famous. And it's doable, but it's going to take time. And basically, mechanically, you're gonna cut the cost by half.
Okay.
So 50% off. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll have to figure out maybe out of game later how much it actually costs.
Yeah.
Just so I can work that out.
She can also give you discounts. Essentially, she's gonna give you 50% off of every potion up to rare, because she can afford to do that. But beyond that, of course, or specific potions that are beyond rare, it's labor and time and her expertise.
Right.
And the risk, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll look up that information later, but I'll spend some time just negotiating it out with her, because I obviously don't want to just bankrupt her or take charity here. I do want to pay her, and she knows I work for the Reeve, so.
When the time comes for getting that stuff, part of me being a ranger and forest being my natural environment, if I was involved with helping, you would also get double the amount of foraged materials.
Yo, nice.
Yeah. Nice.
You don't have to also be an herbalist, do you?
Double whammy.
I probably don't have the intelligence for being an herbalist.
It's a feat.
Yes, it's a.
It can also be a skill profession, so.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There's a lot of angles.
I just thought about double down on helping.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized how useless Braith is with all of these skills because he doesn't have any.
What is your... No, you got like a soldier profession or something out of your soldier background, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So all my skills are like military things, not like woodworking or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, you don't have a craft. That would be right, yes.
Well, in the downtime, you should probably, if there's any downtime, you should probably, like, try and be in charge of the guard or something.
Mm-hmm.
Organize things.
Create a
I just
cord.
usually that's what I do. Like when there is downtime, I'm either in the barracks working with the guards or doing my daily prayers.
Well, I
So
mean, instead of working with the guards, maybe you should, like, go out for the guards.
Mhm.
This is a small town. I want to point out, by the mathematics of it, every time we get a new character, the population of the town goes up by 1%.
But does that population stay the same when with all the characters that come in?
Well, typically, yes, because typically we replace characters when another last character died, so the percentage stays relatively the same.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I
But
guess
yeah.
I would probably do. You're probably right. I would do some patrolling then.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't just mean like patrolling. I mean like literally shoot for a guardsman spot or a captain of the guard. 'Cause literally, you're a soldier with war experience. How many of these guards of the town are going to have the resume to match you?
I mean, I'm already. Hold on. Stop that silly cat. I'm already with the group. I forget the name of the group now. Dang it.
Headhunters?
Yes, thank you.
Headhunters.
I'm
I thought
already.
you guys were a separate entity from the headhunters. I thought technically the headhunters as a group had been retired.
No,
No,
from what I
no.
understand, we were kind of just recruited into the headhunters.
Yeah, the original headhunters were taken away basically, and so they've been trying to recruit new
No,
headhunters.
it's something that I think Griff had said between him and the Reeve before, where I was like, hey, that makes me the only headhunter left because I'm the only one who identified as a headhunter. Because you guys had like formed a new agency or something like that.
I guess so.
I
No,
think it was last session that was said.
I'll be honest.
I don't remember.
I'll be honest. I just assumed that we were part of the headhunters at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I did too until you guys said that one thing that I can't seem to recall exactly what was said. But I mean, either way, I would assume that being in charge of the guard would be a more important job than headhunter, and you could do both things at once.
Right. I guess basically the question now is, what does everyone else do for right now? Because eventually, I think Barakal and Hugh are probably going to go talk to the Reeve.
Yeah,
you
it
can
makes
get back
sense.
to the town.
I mean, the problem with the only problem he really has is the wolf spider. But if you can find a place where it can stay,
Oh yeah, no,
then
yeah, like it's also the case where I can leave him like in a wooded area.
Mhm.
Nothing's gonna really bother a giant wolf spider.
Well, get it to fold 4 of its legs up, put a giant fake horse head on it, and just ride it into town.
You know what? If anything, that old guy, I'll just make a deal that I'll hunt for him whenever I'm here, and when I'm here, the wolf spider can chill in his barn.
Yeah. He'll accept.
You'll have no pest problems for the rest of your life.
You wouldn't think of that, but that is an absolute true fact. All the way down to even coyotes. Coyotes step on that land, they have a problem.
While I was petting the cat, I had an idea. I should go check on Luke and Jim.
Okay.
Because last time we had young Jimmy, he was kind of caught up in things. I want to see if he's now on the up and up, if you will.
Yeah, he's been basically been put to work as part of his reformation, I suppose.
Rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation, yeah. So, yeah, I mean the guards basically are running him ragged to do all the kind of, all the busy work and stuff like that. He's basically become a runner, on top of working, of course, at the gateway. So
is he is he in good spirits?
He's tired. He's too tired to complain most of the time. Yeah.
Then all I will say to Jimmy with the little bit of time we have with him is that I hope that at least some of this will, some of these lessons that you've learning through all of this, some of this experience you have gained, will help you for the future, whatever it will hold for you. And if you need anything, again, don't forget to ask your uncle, for that.
Right. If you don't mind, sir.
I nod and I say, "Be good, Master Jim."
And he walks away. Nothing revengeful. He just seems tired. You know.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're running him ragged, right? Kind of
how's Luke taking it?
He's taking it with a grain of salt, right? It is what it is, right? It's like better to keep the lad busy. You know.
All right, sounds good. Okay, my scene's done.
Okay. Yeah. So night passes uneventfully. In the morning, those who want to, Kix explains what the headhunters are, I suppose. We can have that little powwow where you guys talk about it and then go to the reef. Question is, out of game, is that something that your characters are interested in? But I mean, Barakat and Zigzag, which is, we took a break, as well as you. That I think that you guys are interested.
What is the purpose of the headhunters?
The headhunters are basically they're under they're basically a series of adventurers, if you will, that are under the auspices of the Narwhal government, and they hunt bandits, intercept raids from the Orcish lands, that sort of thing. So they're basically the town's first line of defense against monsters and all kinds of things. But they do have the shall we say the approval of the local reef.
In that case, Hugh is definitely very much interested. He just has one question that he needs to ask the reef. Okay. No other detail he cares about, not even how much the pay is.
Okay. And what about our bard friend?
There's definitely some consideration to be done for him.
Mm-hmm.
He is curious about like the pay. Is there a contract and legal documents? That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. The pay is it's well above commoner pay. It's a gold piece per day, so about 30 gold a month, paid at the end of the month each month.
Okay.
But of course, as an adventurer, if you have to deal with magical items, stuff like that, that's whatever you find out there is yours, unless it's exceedingly dangerous and a threat to the region. Then of course they might reconsider. But they're not going to question it unless it's a major item or of some sort, right? Let's assume that any treasure that you recover from, banditry and the like, will be yours. I mean, from bandits, not committing banditry. That's the opposite of what you should be doing. Yeah.
Is there any kind of like service contract or anything?
Not really. It's a gentleman's agreement, if you will.
Okay.
You're volunteers.
Yeah.
Essentially, they're giving you, there's a great advantage of at least being under the rubric of the town guard and the government, right? That is, people will not automatically assume that you're up to no good, and might even serve as a defense if your acts are were done under the auspices of and in support of the town, right? Where the regular adventurers, if they're not part of a guild, something like that, they're usually the first people that get the blame for anything that goes wrong, whether they've done it or not.
Internally, this seems like a pretty good cover. It seems it also gives him a good reason to stay around here for a little bit and stay with those fine folks. So I think he's reasonably into it. Um, is there any like symbol or anything,
Nope,
or like any markings?
not really. No,
Okay.
you're known by your reputation. I mean, if the party adopts a symbol, something like that, then you can certainly use it officially. Right. But outside of that, no, there's no symbols. People rely. It's a village, smallish town.
Yeah.
It does have a wall and protections, and but mostly people rely on reputation, right?
Okay.
And you're well known, right? Especially that's one reason I think when you hang so much in the Gateway. Gateway is sort of the brewery in town, and people get to know you, and you hear about past exploits like helping liberate the kobolds from the spiders, and stopping the brigands who murdered a woodsman and stuff like that. So they already have accomplished some things. And with every passing week or month, it seems that their exploits seem to be growing. More for some reason, they're meeting more dangerous creatures and fighting bigger battles and stuff like that. So,
okay, yeah, this seems like a reasonable thing for him to do, and it gives him some, I guess, legal protection. So he'll agree to it.
Yeah. Okay then. So the morning comes. You get to talk to the Shire Reef. If you have any specific questions you want to raise with the Shire Reef, then this would be the time to do it. If not, then we can you guys can carry on with your plans to deal with the bigger threat. Seems to be the Stag Lord seems to be a thing.
So one thing that my character would ask is, who is the Stag Lord?
Before we get to that, Hugh has one specific question for the Shire Reef. So, I like everything going on, and I'm clearly going to be the leader, but that'll happen. Not yet. I'm looking for something. I'm looking for a horse with a horn on its head.
You're looking for and you notice that he's an elf. It's like you're looking for a unicorn.
Yeah. You see, I was sleeping, and then a woman spoke to me, and I got magical powers. Her name is what it was. Oh yeah, Alona.
Oh.
And all I know about it is a horse with a horn on its head, and forests are good.
Wait, just one horn?
Just
one horn.
Okay, so not a bicorn.
No.
Or a nightmare. A horn nightmare.
They say nightmares don't have horns.
That's true.
Either way.
Well,
I think I gotta find one.
That and he gets serious for a moment. Usually you see him very jovial, not jovial, but sort of relaxed. And it's like, and pray tell, what would happen if you were to find this horn horse?
I would make him my best friend.
Oh,
if I'm gonna be a leader, and apparently rebellion's already happened, so can't be rebellion. If I'm gonna be a leader of something, I need friends. And people will be my friend if I have a horned horse who's my friend.
See.
I think that's how it works.
Unicorns hate men, right? Famously. Like, they kill men. That's what they do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He says, "Well, my people, they have known to have connections with the forest and the like. But if you are a follower of Alona, then perhaps you might wish to visit the temple and speak to the priestess, and she might have some inkling about that. I do know that the unicorn is one of the symbols of Alona, and so perhaps this is a vision of what you should do in the future. I don't know. I do not know much about religious matters, only that I pray to the gods. At least those who are good and and and
I
serve the
will
forces of
definitely
wheel.
go to the temple. I'll definitely go
Yeah.
to the temple. I'll let you in on a little secret. I don't know much about much, but I know that I do stuff. And I'll leave on that note.
Hey, not like a bit confused, but you know, seemingly on your side. Like, yes, that I think would be best. Any more questions?
Well, besides the whole thing that we're going to get into, I'd probably also ask him about Ikram Amal if he knows anything recent at least. He
Right.
seems like a pretty important person. He might know something.
You've heard the name, and the stories, but he doesn't seem to have any specific information.
Okay.
Also, yeah, but he does promise that if he does pick up any information that might be relevant or connected to that name, he will certainly make sure that you
They would
know
be
about
very
it.
thankful. And then we could get into who is
Mhm.
the big bad person that everyone's talking about.
Well, I believe your companions know a little more than that, but we've had rumors that the local bandits and even some goblins and the like are following the orders of this stag lord. And they usually, so far in the past and even today, they have raided mostly outlying farms and derive quote unquote taxes from the woodsmen. Now that spring has come, many groups of woodsmen go to, woodcutters come out uh, to harvest at the edges of the forest. Apparently, there have been attacks before. At least one woodsman was found dead at the hands of members of this gang owned by the stag lord. And I would like the threat to be eliminated as soon as possible. Especially if they were so bold as to attack a caravan uh, manned by dwarves and kobolds.
Okay.
If nothing else, it must be brought to justice.
Okay, so he's just like a gang leader.
Apparently so. But I do worry that he's being able to also corral goblins and the like into his employ. It's not unusual to have in these borderlands to have people escaping from the north and trying to make a criminal living down here, and also have people from the south trying to escape their conditions and try to find a better place. Like the people, like the kobolds who apparently were escaping from the horrible conditions of the Pomarch Empire. I don't blame them. Certainly would not want to live that way.
Well, thank you, but I should probably go find my new companions now. They're probably wondering where I am.
Yes.
And I'll bid my farewell.
Well, and I think we're about to be done. We're only 10 minutes off,
10 minutes.
if I correctly. So, yes, let's start the round down. We had Rectus with us today, although off camera, but he did finally join us. So let's start opposite, shall we? Or this way, I guess. Start with Barakat. Same process as we started, where you introduce your character, goals, etc., and we go from there. That's part of the close.
Barakat? 4th level eloquence bard, seems to be human. Thinks flattery is the best way to direct attention away from them. Likes seeing smiles on the people he performs for, and that's the most important thing to him. Other than that, his bond is his instrument, the most treasured possession of his, and his flaw is he's struggling with his identity in some way. And, well, this might be a way to help with that so far.
Mhm.
And he's looking around for his mentor, which is named Ikram Amal.
Okay. Then we have Griffin.
Hey everybody, I'm Griffin, and I played Kix the Shield, the Dragonborn Battlemaster folk hero. He's a cool and calculating personality, he believes a hero stands up to all challenges. Those under my command and responsibility come first, and he has immense ego and delusions of grandeur.
Les, we move always to Hugh.
All right. I am Justin, and I am also known as the hot mess of a kobold, Hugh, with his friend Webford. So, personality-wise, thinking is for other people, not me. Ideally, no one should get preferential treatment before any law. No one is above any law. And he just really wants to protect people.
Okay.
Doesn't know how to do it, but that's his goal.
And then we have Rob.
Yes, as Braith the Butcher, who is honest to a fault and very resolute. He strives for truth and hopes to provide hope in this cruel world. That's his main ideal. His bonds are that his faith guides his conscience even when in doubt. And his flaws are he's known as the Butcher to many, a name he wears with distinction. And he is somewhat prejudiced towards his enemies.
And last but certainly not least, Theta.
Yeah, I played Zigzag, the Rock Gnome Artificer. My personality is I'm well known for my work, and I want to make sure everyone appreciates it. I'm always taken aback when people haven't heard of me. My ideal is I work hard to be the best there is at my craft. My bond is one day I will return to my guild and prove that I am the greatest artisan of them all. And my flaw is that I'm never satisfied with what I have. I always want more.
Okay. And I've been your GM, Lessons, or by Lessons Learned. I'm also a daytime streamer from Monday to Friday, and I have a podcast on Sundays, the Lessons Learned podcast, over at the Lessons Learned 1 channel. And you can find me here on Sundays, GMing from this lovely group of people. I'd like to thank everybody for coming. As always, we'll see you every Sunday. Bye-bye, everybody.
See you next time.
Take care.